All right, I'm sure we don't have to tell you money is tight right now. So what can parents do to make sure they stay within their budgets when it comes to spending on your kids? Financial expert Marshall Clay with the Welch Group joins us now with a blueprint for your budget. Good to have you with us this morning.
Good to be here.
Yeah, first we got to start there with just creating that budget, right?
That's right. I think that including your kids in on that budget conversation is the key, right? Setting the expectations about how much they can and cannot spend, I think is very important, because then when you approach or when you reach that point where they want something, you can reference back to that conversation. It ties those two concepts together. I think the other thing that's really difficult for parents is to help their kids work through prioritizing needs versus wants, right? If you take a young child to Target, for example, you and I were talking about this off air, I mean, they want everything. They think everything is like existential. If they don't have that new Lego set, you know, they cry and they throw tantrums. Okay. So I think it's important to kind of have them understand what they need versus what they want. And then I think also a big tip is to shop smart, whether it be thrift stores, whether it be these online market trading places. I mean, my wife, she does a great job of this where she's saved thousands of dollars, you know, getting cribs and strollers and things like that are really expensive if you buy them new, and you can get them at some steep discounts.
Right.
And then, you know, JJ just did a segment about the museum, and I think, you know, when you're talking about prioritizing extracurricular activities, particularly in the summer, right? Parents want to keep their kids engaged.
Sure.
Keep them from being bored. And so looking for those community opportunities, whether it be at libraries, whether it be at museums, whether it be at parks for all the sports activities, those things are oftentimes much cheaper, oftentimes for free. And I think also coordinating with parents, right? If you've got friend groups that can carpool, friend groups where you can combine and not have private lessons and group lessons, those are things that can save you a lot of money. But at the end of the day, I think that one of the most important concepts is teaching your kids about delayed gratification, right? Teaching them the importance of savings, teaching them the importance of working for some of the money that they earn. I think this is a very important concept. And if you can ingrain this very early on in their life, I think it sets them up for a lot of long-term financial success.
All right, so those are some great guidelines to try to stay within your means there. And hopefully, as you said, in the process, maybe teach your kids something about money, maybe teach ourselves something about money as well.
Yeah, and I think the last thing I would say is that our community has a ton of opportunities. I mean, we talked about the concerts tonight. I think a lot of times those are a little bit expensive, but there's tons of things in Birmingham, in and around Birmingham, that I think our viewers can take advantage of that can let them have some fun, but also save some money.
Not break the bank. All right, that's Marshall Clay with the Welch Group. We do appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we got more.